Urgent Cleveland Browns fans. Do not miss this. What just happened? You won't believe this one. But before we reveal the big news, make sure to subscribe to the channel, because here, we bring you daily videos with the latest Cleveland Browns updates. And to not miss anything, activate the notifications. Alright, Browns fans, settle in because what I'm about to tell you is truly a game changer. We're talking about a moment in Cleveland Browns history that's already sparking plenty of debate across the NFL community. It's a story packed with drama, strategy, family ties, and a whole lot of excitement for what's to come. You see, during the recent 2025 NFL Draft, the Browns made a move that left many fans, analysts, and even some players scratching their heads. They traded up in the 5th round to pick a quarterback you might not have seen coming, Shedeur Sanders, the son of the legendary Deion Sanders, no less. And let me tell you, this wasn't just a random pick or a shot in the dark. No, this was a calculated, bold move by the Browns front office, and it's already creating ripples across the league. To understand the significance of this, we need to rewind a little. The Cleveland Browns, as many of you know, have always been a team with a rich history, a franchise that's had its ups and downs but never lacked heart or passion. This offseason, they aim to bolster their roster, especially at the quarterback position, which has been a point of focus for years. Deshaun Watson, the veteran star, is still the starting guy, but the team clearly wanted to add depth, competition, and perhaps even a future star. That's where Shedeur Sanders comes into the picture. Shedeur, coming out of Colorado, has been turning heads for quite some time. He's a talented quarterback with a strong arm, great decision-making skills, and a leadership presence that's hard to ignore. But what makes this pick even more interesting is the fact that the Browns had to go out of their way to get him. According to reports from ESPN, Cleveland was very aggressive in their approach. They started making calls during the 4th round to see what it would take to move up and secure Sanders. They saw something in him, a potential that they believe can fit into their system and maybe even develop into a future franchise quarterback. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking: why trade up for a quarterback in the 5th round? Isn't that a bit risky? Well, Cleveland's management, led by General Manager Andrew Berry, has always been known for valuing the best player available philosophy. Berry explained in an interview that they didn't initially plan to draft 2 quarterbacks this draft, but when the opportunity to select Shedeur presented itself, they couldn't pass it up. He mentioned that they didn't expect him to still be available at that stage, which shows how much they valued his talent. It's a move rooted in believing in competition, in pushing their current roster to be better, and in betting on potential. And let's talk about that quarterback room now, because it's quite the crowded, interesting mix. You've got Deshaun Watson, obviously the star, a player with immense talent but also some questions about consistency and injury concerns. Then there's Joe Flacco, a veteran who's been around the league, bringing leadership and experience. Dillon Gabriel, a promising young quarterback, has been showing flashes of brilliance in limited action, and now, with Shedeur Sanders in the mix, the competition is fierce. Kenny Pickett, the Steelers' former first-round pick, is also in that division, so every rep, every practice, every preseason game will be crucial for these guys to prove themselves. But here's where things get even more intriguing. The Browns aren't just bringing Sanders in as a backup or developmental project. They're adding someone who might challenge the established starters, who could push Deshaun Watson or even serve as a future replacement if things go right. It's a bold strategy, but one that could pay off big time if Sanders develops as expected. Now, I want to pause here for a moment because this is a classic example of the kind of bold, aggressive moves that can define a franchise's future. Cleveland has been known historically for their passionate fanbase, their iconic history, and moments of greatness. Think of the dog pound, the moments of playoff success in the past, and of course, the legendary players who wore that orange and brown. But recent years have been a roller coaster, with some promising seasons mixed with frustrating playoff droughts. This draft pick signals a new mindset, one that's willing to take risks, to invest in young talent, and to chase that elusive spark that could turn the team's fortunes around. It's also a reflection of the current NFL landscape, where teams are increasingly valuing flexibility, versatility, and the ability to develop a quarterback over time. The Browns are clearly in that mode right now, and with Shedeur Sanders, they're betting on potential and future upside. But what about Deion Sanders, Shedeur's legendary father? Well, that's another layer to this story. Deion, who's been a coaching icon at Colorado and one of the most charismatic figures in football, was initially hopeful about hearing his son's name called early in the draft. He's always spoken highly of Shedeur's talent and work ethic, so naturally, there was some expectation that he might go in the first or second round. Instead, Shedeur slipped to the fifth round, and Cleveland was quick to capitalize on that. And here's the twist: Deion Sanders, the Hall of Famer, the iconic cornerback and coach, actually responded graciously to the Browns' decision. Most fans probably expected him to be disappointed, especially considering his previous comments about Cleveland in the past, sometimes playful jabs about the city's football history. But instead, ESPN reports that Deion thanked Browns general manager Andrew Berry and the team's front office for taking a chance on his son. That's a huge show of respect and support. It also shows that Deion understands the bigger picture. This is about his son's growth, about opportunity, and about a new chapter for Shedeur. In a recent FaceTime call, Deion even reached out to Berry directly, building a good relationship with the Browns management team. That's significant because it signals a mutual respect and understanding. Deion is familiar with Browns quarterbacks coach Bill Musgrave, having played alongside him with the San Francisco 49ers back in 1994. That personal connection adds another layer of intrigue to this story. It's not just about a quarterback being drafted, it's about a family legacy, a coaching relationship, and a franchise that's trying to make its mark with bold moves. So, what can Browns fans expect moving forward? Well, the preseason will be absolutely must-watch. Shedeur Sanders, with his arm talent and leadership qualities, will be looking to make an impression early on. Will he challenge Deshaun Watson? Will he develop into a reliable backup or even a future starter? Those questions will be answered in the coming months, but one thing's for sure, the Browns' quarterback room just got a whole lot more interesting. This move also sets the stage for some intense competition during training camp. It's rare to see a fifth-round pick generate this much buzz, but Sanders has that kind of potential. Browns fans, you need to be excited because this is exactly the kind of story that can energize a team and a fanbase. It's about embracing the future, trusting the process, and believing that maybe, just maybe, Shedeur Sanders could be the next big thing in Cleveland. And remember, Cleveland isn't just any city. It's a place with a passionate football culture, a loyal fanbase, and a history that's full of legendary moments. From the days of Bernie Kosar to the recent playoff runs, Browns fans have always been hungry for that next big success story. This draft pick could very well be the start of something special, whether it's in the short term, as a backup and developmental project, or in the long term, as a franchise quarterback in the making. Only time will tell, but I can tell you one thing, this is a story you won't want to miss. Now, I want to bring it all together for you. The Browns' decision to trade up and select Shedeur Sanders in the fifth round is more than just a draft pick. It's a statement. It's a gamble rooted in belief, family legacy, and the desire to find that next star. It's a move that has already created buzz around the league and among fans alike. And with the support of Deion Sanders himself, it's clear that this family connection and the confidence in Shedeur are stronger than ever. Browns fans, the upcoming preseason, training camp, and the entire season promise to be incredibly exciting. We're watching history unfold right before our eyes, and I can't wait to see how the story develops. Remember, the NFL is all about moments, big moments, bold moves, and players rising to the occasion. Cleveland just made one of those moments with this draft pick. So stay tuned, keep your eyes on Shedeur Sanders, and get ready for a roller coaster ride of hope, competition, and maybe even a little bit of magic in Cleveland. This is what Browns football is all about: passion, resilience, and the relentless pursuit of greatness. And I, for one, can't wait to see what's next. And now, Cleveland Browns fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Cleveland Browns. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Cleveland Browns news.